Welcome back. Please like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Good morning. Today we are discussing a significant move in the world of technology. At the 2026 Munich Security Conference, 16 major companies from 11 countries announced a new partnership.
That is correct, Alex. They are calling it the Trusted Tech Alliance, or TTA. This group includes famous names like Microsoft, Ericsson, and the cloud departments of Amazon and Google.
Their main goal is to create a shared set of rules for digital security. Currently, many nations are creating their own local laws for technology. While this protects digital sovereignty, it can also make the global market very complicated for businesses.
Exactly. These companies are worried that different rules in every country will make it harder to move goods and data across borders. To fix this, the TTA will focus on 5 key areas: transparency, strong supply chains, security checks, fair competition, and clear laws for data protection.
It sounds like a very strategic effort. Analysts say this is a way for Western and Japanese companies to stay united. By following the same standards, they can ensure their technology remains safe and reliable worldwide.
It is also an important moment for the current U.S. administration. As President Trump continues to emphasize secure trade and strong partnerships, this alliance helps establish a clear path for American tech firms to lead globally.
So, what is the next step for this group?
The alliance plans to meet again in Tokyo later this year. At that summit, they will start writing the technical details for how cloud computing and telecommunication systems should work together.
A very steady and organized approach to a complex problem. Thank you for that update, Jamie.
You're welcome, Alex. We will see how these new standards shape the future of our digital world.
Hello and welcome. Today, we are looking at a major event in New Delhi. The India AI Impact Summit has officially begun, and it is drawing a lot of international attention.
That's right, Alex. This summit is a significant milestone for artificial intelligence governance. It is not just for tech experts. 20 heads of state, including the presidents of France and Brazil, are attending alongside global tech CEOs.
This gathering feels different from previous meetings in the US or Europe. What is the primary focus this time?
The focus here is on the global south, the world's developing economies. While Western countries often focus on strict regulations, this summit is prioritizing digital public infrastructure.
By that, you mean the systems that help a country run, correct?
Exactly. India is using its own success with national digital IDs and payment systems as a blueprint. They want to show how AI can be deployed on a large scale at an affordable cost.
Another major topic on the agenda is the labor market. Many people are worried that AI will replace their jobs. How is the summit addressing this?
There is a lot of talk about reskilling. Leaders want to create proactive education programs. The goal is to prepare workers for automation rather than leaving them behind.
It also seems like these nations are asking for more fairness in the industry.
Yes. Currently, most AI hardware and technology are controlled by a few wealthy corporations. The Global South is demanding more inclusive access to these tools.
India seems to be positioning itself as a bridge between Western regulations and the growth needs of emerging markets.
Precisely. They want ethical AI, but they also want to ensure that technology helps rather than hinders economic progress. It will be a very important 5 days of discussion.
Thank you for that analysis, Jamie. We will keep a close watch on the outcomes of the summit. Good morning. Today we are looking at the latest economic data from the United States, which brings some welcome news for consumers and investors alike.
That's right, Alex. The newest inflation report shows that prices rose by 2.4% over the last year. This is a significant drop from the 2.7% we saw in December. It is also lower than what most experts were expecting.
It seems the pressure of rising prices is finally starting to fade. Jamie, how is the financial market reacting to this news?
The reaction has been quite positive. Because inflation is cooling, many investors now expect the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates again. In the bond market, we already see yields falling as investors prepare for these changes.
Lower interest rates usually mean it becomes cheaper to borrow money for things like homes and business loans. Did we see that reflected in the stock market today?
Yes, particularly in the real estate and banking sectors. These industries are very sensitive to interest rates, so they performed well this morning. However, the technology sector remained quiet. Some analysts are still a bit nervous about how artificial intelligence might change corporate earnings in the future.
That is an interesting point. So while the inflation monster seems to be under control, there are still long-term questions about technology and jobs.
Exactly. But for now, the mood is one of relief. Economists suggest that the Federal Reserve now has more breathing room. They can focus less on fighting high prices and more on keeping the job market stable.
It sounds like the economy is moving toward a much steadier path. Thank you for that clear analysis, Jamie.
You're very welcome, Alex.
Good morning. Today, we look at the latest economic data from Japan, which shows some unexpected challenges for the nation.
Hello, Alex. The Japanese government reported today that the economy grew by only 0.2% in the last quarter. This is much lower than what experts expected.
That is a very small number. Immediately after the news, the Japanese yen became weaker against the US dollar. It is now trading above the 153 level.
Exactly. This slow growth is caused by two main problems. People in Japan are not spending enough money at home, and global trade remains very uncertain.
How is the government responding to this? I understand Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi is already considering new measures.
Yes, analysts believe the Prime Minister will move forward with plans to help the economy. This includes more government spending and specific tax cuts to encourage growth.
This also makes things difficult for the Bank of Japan. They want to return interest rates to normal levels, but it is hard to do that when the economy is almost standing still.
It is a delicate balance. If they support the economy too much, the currency stays weak. But if they raise rates, growth might slow down even more.
We saw the stock market react as well. The Nikkei index fell slightly as investors worried about these figures.
That's right. While a weak yen helps companies that sell products abroad, the bigger concern is that local demand remains very low.
What is the next step for officials in Tokyo?
Finance officials will meet later this week. They plan to discuss a new budget to help small businesses that are struggling with the rising cost of imports.
It is certainly a complicated situation for Japan's leadership. Thank you for the update, Jamie.
You're welcome, Alex.
Good morning. Today, we are discussing a major new announcement from the Trump administration regarding immigration.
Hello, Alex. Yes, the government has shared a detailed plan to expand the country's detention system. The total cost is estimated at $38 billion.
That is a significant amount of money. What exactly does the plan involve?
The administration wants to buy large warehouses across the United States. They plan to turn 16 of these buildings into regional processing centers. Each one will be able to hold more than 1,000 people.
I understand there are even larger facilities in the plan as well.
That is correct. They also want to create 8 massive detention centers. These will be much larger, with the capacity to hold between 7,000 and 10,000 individuals each.
And what is the goal of this expansion?
The administration says this will make the system more efficient. They want to hold undocumented immigrants for an average of 2 months while their legal cases or deportation orders are finished.
However, this plan is already facing some challenges, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Some judges have recently ruled that current detention practices have legal problems. Also, civil rights groups and several state governments strongly oppose the plan. They say they will use local building and environmental laws to try to stop the projects.
On the other side, supporters argue that using warehouses is a fast and cheap way to manage border security.
Exactly. It is a very controversial topic. We can expect many legal battles in the near future as the administration tries to move forward.
Thank you for that clear summary, Jamie. We will continue to monitor this story as it develops.
You're welcome, Alex.
Good morning. We begin today with a major announcement from the White House regarding the Middle East. President Trump has introduced a new initiative called the Board of Peace to help rebuild Gaza.
That is right, Alex. Speaking from Florida, the president confirmed that this board has already secured $5 billion in initial pledges. The goal is to focus on stability and reconstruction through private sector development.
It is an interesting approach. Instead of using traditional aid models, This board, which includes international business leaders and former diplomats, wants to build infrastructure. They also plan to send personnel to help train local police forces.
However, the president was very clear that this support comes with strict rules. The funds are contingent upon meeting security benchmarks. Most importantly, the local government must exclude any extremist elements.
While the president focuses on international diplomacy, he faces a difficult situation at home. In Washington, the Department of Homeland Security remains shut down because of a deadlock in Congress over immigration funding.
This domestic stalemate is starting to cause real problems. Critics point out that essential services like the TSA and the Coast Guard are being affected while the administration focuses on Gaza.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio defended the strategy this weekend in Munich. He argued that American strength depends on creating stable allies who can defend themselves. He calls this peace through prosperity.
It is a bold vision, but the regional security environment is still very complex. We will have to see if the administration can manage this ambitious plan while also resolving the funding crisis at home.
Thank you for that analysis, Jamie. We will continue to monitor both situations as they develop.
Good evening. Today, we are discussing a major change in our digital lives. Experts are calling 2026 the year of the social exit.
That is correct, Alex. For over 10 years, social media grew every single year. In 2024, the average person spent over 140 minutes a day on these platforms. But now, in early 2026, we are seeing a sharp decline.
It seems people are tired of the constant noise. Many users say that algorithmic feeds, the posts chosen for them by computers, are emotionally draining. They are moving away from quick scrolling.
Instead, they are choosing slow media. We see more people reading long newsletters and listening to deep, long-form podcasts. They prefer quality and continuity over fast consumption.
This shift is also happening in the real world. We are seeing a huge revival of physical community events. For example, book clubs are no longer just a quiet hobby. They have become a stylish way to socialize.
Even celebrities like Dua Lipa are now focusing on literature and deep interviews. It has made intellectualism feel like an aspirational lifestyle. People want to show that they are thinkers, not just consumers.
There is also the AI factor. As the internet becomes full of content made by artificial intelligence, people are placing a higher value on human experiences. They want to go to ticketed events, join private clubs, and meet real people.
It is a profound change in our values. In the past, social status came from saying, "I have seen this." Now, status comes from saying, "I have thought about this."
A very calm and thoughtful shift for society. Thank you for joining us for this update.
Have a pleasant evening.
Good morning. In today's fast-paced world, the way we show our status is changing. In 2026, people are moving away from simple displays of wealth.
That is correct, Alex. We are seeing a major shift toward what experts call wisdom flexing. Essentially, having deep knowledge and cultural taste has become the new symbol of success.
It is a fascinating change. For years, we were overwhelmed by quick, digital content. Now, consumers want depth. We see this clearly in entertainment, where classic stories like The Odyssey are becoming hits again.
This mythology core trend is very popular with younger generations. They are remixing old folklore into modern life. It feels more authentic than the content generated by AI.
Even the fashion world is following this path. I noticed that physical books are replacing expensive handbags as the must-have accessory this season. Having a personal blog or a Substack is now a sign of social influence.
It truly is a backlash against the superficiality of the past. Even major fashion houses are changing their strategy. They are hosting events at the US Open, focusing on heritage and sportsmanship rather than just a runway.
It seems that in an unpredictable world, people are searching for something that lasts. By blending intelligence with pop culture, brands are helping people feel more grounded.
Exactly. Being smart is finally the most fashionable thing you can be. It is a calm, thoughtful approach to modern living.
A very positive direction for our culture. Thank you for these insights, Jamie.
My pleasure, Alex. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Today we are discussing a significant scientific breakthrough that could change the lives of many people.
That is right, Alex. Researchers at Northwestern University have found a new way to treat spinal cord injuries, and the results are very promising.
For a long time, spinal cord injuries were often considered permanent. This is because the body creates scar tissue that prevents nerves from growing back.
Exactly. To solve this, the team used something called dancing molecules. These are tiny, engineered fibers that move very quickly. Because they dance, they can connect with human cells much more effectively than traditional medicine.
It is fascinating technology. In this study, the researchers used organoids, which are small, lab-grown models of human tissue. This allowed them to see how the treatment works on human-like structures rather than just in animal models.
And the results were dramatic. The treatment significantly reduced scar tissue. More importantly, it helped the nerve fibers start to grow again across the site of the injury.
This is a major step forward. While there is still more testing to do before it can be used in hospitals, the ability to regrow human nerves is a massive achievement.
It certainly is. It gives us a much clearer path toward a future where spinal cord injuries can actually be healed.
A very hopeful note for the medical community. Thank you for that analysis, Jamie.
My pleasure, Alex.
And thank you for listening. We will continue to follow this story as it develops. Good morning. Today, we look at a fascinating discovery about the future of our universe. For many years, scientists believed the universe would expand forever. However, new research suggests a different ending.
That is right, Alex. A physicist from Cornell University recently published a study in the Journal of Cosmology and Astroparticle Physics. The study uses fresh data from dark energy observatories to challenge our old ideas.
The research focuses on something called the cosmological constant. This is a concept originally created by Albert Einstein. Previously, scientists thought this constant was positive, which meant the universe would grow indefinitely.
But this new study suggests the constant might actually be negative. If this calculation is correct, the universe will not grow forever. Instead, it will eventually reach a maximum size and then begin to collapse.
Scientists call this scenario the Big Crunch. You can think of it like a rubber band. It stretches out as far as it can, and then it snaps back to its original shape.
It is a dramatic shift in how we see the cosmos. According to the model, the universe is currently 13.8 billion years old. It will continue to expand for about 11 billion more years. After that, gravity will begin to pull everything back together.
So, if the universe has a total lifespan of 33 billion years, we are actually nearing the halfway point.
Exactly. While 20 billion years is a very long time away, these findings change our fundamental understanding of physics. It suggests our universe is more dynamic and perhaps even cyclical than we once thought.
It is a humbling reminder of how much we are still learning about the stars above us. Thank you for joining us for this update.
Thank you. We will continue to follow these developments as more data arrives.